Hello and welcome to Secondhand Stories. This is a place where I tell you stories. What kind of stories? Well, histories, mysteries, and unbelievable histories. Also, this is the fifth episode, which means that it's no longer casual. It's official. If you go on the fifth date, you have to make a commitment. So, yes, this is a series and new episodes will come out every Friday. Also, as I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a new camera, which is nice because now this no longer looks like an MMS. So, all right, let's get into the story. This week's story is a case that happened fairly recently. And when you hear about it, you'll realize it has ramifications for a lot of things that are currently happening in the world. And you'll find out what those things are and why this is such a significant case. Our story begins in Jaipur. It's December 2018, and a couple have come to Jaipur to celebrate their honeymoon. They're a Canadian couple, and they're looking forward to spend their time in Jaipur. But on 8th December 2018, the husband complains of a stomach ache. It gets really bad, and he's taken to a hospital. Okay, and he stays overnight, and then on 9th December 2018, he passes away due to complications arising from Crohn's disease. Now, this is a tragedy under every circumstance. This is a 30-year-old person who had come to celebrate his honeymoon, but ends up dying in a hospital in Jaipur. But this tragedy became even more significant because of who this person was. This person, his name was Gerald Cotton, and he was the founder and sole director of Quadriga CX, which at the time was Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange. So when he dies, it's a very significant thing that has happened. Now, before I tell you anything else, let me tell you a little bit about Quadriga CX. So this cryptocurrency exchange that he had founded, it was called Quadriga CX, and Gerald Cotton had founded this in 2014 with another business partner called Michael Patron. Quadriga CX started small, but then eventually started picking up. In fact, they had set up Canada's second Bitcoin ATM. Quadriga CX was touted as being Canada's cheapest, fastest, and safest crypto exchange. And by 2018, they added another adjective, and that adjective was largest. Because by then they had accumulated 80% of the market share. A lot of people trusted it, and Gerald Cotton was the talk of the town. Now, who was Gerald Cotton? Gerald Cotton was outwardly an extremely successful and capable businessman. He was a good-natured, ever-smiling person. He had blonde, wavy hair and a business degree from the Schulich School of Business. Sorted guy, middle-class upbringing, solid dude. Started this company, and a lot of people believed in it, and they were looking forward to all the riches that could be made on Bitcoin using Quadriga CX. But then in December of 2018, Gerald Cotton dies. And with his death, rumors start swirling. Rumors start swirling that Gerald Cotton had faked his death. And the rest of what I'm going to tell you is about why these rumors started in the first place. Now, as I told you, Gerald Cotton was outwardly an extremely respectable guy. But if you zoomed into his past, you would start seeing that things were a little murky. Because Gerald Cotton had started doing Ponzi schemes all the way back in 2003, when he was just 15 years old. He had found his way onto a place called Talk Gold, which was a forum where people discussed high yield investment programs, or as they're known, HYIPs, or as they're really known, Ponzi schemes. Now, you know what a Ponzi scheme is, right? It's a scheme where a person asks you for an investment. They tell you that they will give you a high rate of interest on this investment in a ridiculously small amount of time. And they end up doing this for a little while too. How do they do it? They take money from new clients and they give it to old clients. This builds credibility. People start investing in it. A huge pot of money is created. And then at some point, this person will shut this operation down and abscond with all of the money. That's generally how this works. And Gerald Cotton started getting really good at it. It's on Talk Gold itself that Gerald Cotton meets his future co-founder, a man called Michael Patron. But very much like Gerald Cotton, even Michael Patron was an interesting guy who outwardly seemed credible. But if you looked a little closer, things were not what they seemed. Because according to a lot of news sources, Michael Patron wasn't even this guy's real name. This guy's real name was Omar Dhanani. And in 2005, he was sent to jail for 18 months for identity theft. They meet each other on Talk Gold, and by 2014, they have started Quadriga CX. Okay, 2014, they started. 2015, they run out of money. They decide to go public, but Gerald Cotton pulls the plug on it. And by 2016, all the directors of this company, including Michael Patron, have resigned, leaving only one employee in Quadriga CX, and that man is Gerald Cotton. Now, this is a very scary situation because by the end of it, Quadriga CX annually was doing trades of about $1 billion. And all of this was being handled by one man and a laptop. Okay, now, as you can imagine, when these things start happening, it's a little shady. But what really made this an Abbas Mastan movie was what happened in 2018. In 2018, an event occurs called the Great Crypto Crash. In September 2018, crypto reaches an all-time low in valuation. 80% of value gets wiped out. Okay, this is worse than the dot-com bubble. So when this happens, people start scrambling to take their money out of all sorts of crypto investments. And people start demanding that Quadriga CX start handing their money back. That's when they start realizing that Quadriga isn't giving their money back. Here's what happens. September 2018, the market crashes. October 2018, Gerald Cotton marries his girlfriend. November 2018, he draws up a will. In this will, he leaves most of his property to his wife. He leaves $100,000 to his chihuahuas. You know who he doesn't mention in this will? People who had invested in Quadriga CX. There was no contingency plan for what would happen after his death. There was no plan to how he would reimburse people who were on this platform if something was to happen to him. And then in December 2018, Gerald Cotton passes away. And he passes away exactly 12 days after he's written this will. When investigators start looking into it, they start realizing that this was a very rotten operation. By 2016, Gerald Cotton had started dipping into clients' funds, putting some of it in personal accounts and a lot of it on other crypto exchanges. What he's also done is, because he owns and runs Quadriga CX, he started creating fake accounts on his exchange. And then with a few keystrokes, he has started putting fake currencies and fake money into these accounts. Okay, there was one particular account where he had made up $150 million with which he was trading with real clients. Not just that, there was lots of financial discrepancy. By after 2016, there are no records that this company has kept. He didn't have a contingency plan. He kept telling people that there was what he called a dead man switch, where if something happened to him, there would passwords and data would be sent to people he was working with. But when he died, nothing like that happened. All the data and money were kept in things called the cold wallets. Okay, cold wallets are basically crypto wallets that are kept offline. And these crypto wallets were supposed to keep all this data, but he had shared the passwords with nobody. Okay, so these were encrypted cold wallets, which nobody could access. When blockchain experts start looking into it, they realized that a lot of the money hasn't even made it to these wallets. Investigators were able to piece together and find some money. 1/3 of it came back, but 2/3 of it is gone. All in all, Gerald Cotton lost 250 million Canadian dollars, which was owed to 115,000 people. And these are the circumstances under which people started believing that Gerald Cotton was still alive. They also started believing this because when they looked at his death certificate, they found out that they had misspelled his name on it. Now, this is suspicious to everybody living not in India. But to people living in India, it's understandable. क्योंकि डॉक्यूमेंट्स में स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक होता है तो क्या कर सकते. But it's still one other piece of this puzzle which is strange. Now, Gerald Cotton's body was embalmed in Jaipur, and then it was flown out to Canada and buried there. Creditors are still asking authorities to exhume the body and perform a DNA test on it so that they can determine once and for all whether Gerald Cotton is alive or dead. Authorities so far haven't agreed to do this. They're satisfied that Gerald Cotton is dead. But until this test is carried out, no one will know for sure. And I can imagine why these rumors have started. Because if I had put my life savings in Quadriga CX and this had happened to me, I too would believe that Gerald Cotton was alive. Because with him would stay alive the hope that one day I could recover my money. And that's the story of Gerald Cotton and how Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange went bust. That's the story. And if you liked it, then please leave a like and a comment. If you have any tips as to how to avoid crypto scams like this, then please leave them in the comments for crypto noobs like me. Also, this series is sponsored by My Career. So if you'd like to support My Career, then please go to the description and check out links to shows I'll be doing. In fact, I'm doing a show on 21st November. It's a Zoom show, so you can watch it wherever you are. Check the link in the description for tickets. And until next time, bye-bye.